Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in USL Championship. But we've got a lot of news, we've got a lot of action, and we've got the standings to keep an eye on when it comes to all of the activity in USL Championship. As always, we'll go through all the news, all the games, all the matchups in the standings, and get you ready for the weekend and the week that will be over the next 7 days. But let's take you through the last 7 days and our matches of the week to get you ready for the next 7. Last Wednesday, action started at Segra Field, Loudon, Memphis 901. Goalless draw with Memphis 901 on the road. Friday Night Football, couple of different actions. Oakland Roots get a big win on the road at Patriots Point against the Charleston Battery by the final of 1-0. Colorado Springs Switchbacks 2-1 winners over Birmingham Legion in downtown Colorado Springs at Widener Field. And at One Oak, Blue City gets a big win on the road, knocking off FC Tulsa by the score of 3-0. That sets up the weekend and the traditionally heavy schedule on your Saturday. And it was Hartford Athletic getting the rare win at Trinity Health. Hartford Athletic over to Mexico United by the final of 2-1. Memphis 901 knocking off Indy 11. Successful weekend continues for Stephen Glass and 901. 2-1 winners at the Mike over Indy 11. Game of the week in the East comes from Highmark Stadium. Two of the teams at the top, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at the USL Championship, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Another great atmosphere at Highmark, and we are underway from the Steel City. Pittsburgh looking to continue to put some distance between themselves and the rest of their Eastern Conference competitors at the top of the table. The Tampa Bay Rowdies are trying to chase them down. It is a big head-to-head meeting tonight in Pittsburgh. We can't wait to bring it to you. The Riverhounds have only lost. Threaded through again by Nathan Dos Santos. There's King Kenny, Canardo Forbes. Ordonez. Near side Rivera looking for Danny Griffin. Poking it over the top for Showunmi, but it's well read defensively by the goalkeeper, Connor Sparrow.
Love that early look. Danny Griffin just getting into the half space. A cheeky little ball over the top. Goes to show you cannot lose the front two of this Pittsburgh lineup. They play off the back shoulder of the back line so well.
Ball placed right back into the penalty area for Showunmi. Showunmi for Digwa, 1-0, just like that. Simple as you like for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Showunmi connecting beautifully with Albert Digwa, who scores his 11th goal of the season, and the Riverhounds are off to a flying start. They lead 1-0.
To see out of his side, he has been preaching to have a good start, and I can't think of a better one than this. A goal in the opening minutes. Showunmi doing the hard work, playing so well back to goal, holding off the defender. And then that cheeky little overlapping run, he finds him, pinpoint delivery, toad poke of a finish.
It's laid off here. Forbes slipped as he struck it. And the Rowdies get the possession back.
Put a ball in the back line where it's paced just enough. Puts himself in a foot race up there with the likes of someone like Showunmi Digwa.
Farrell leads the break here for the Hounds. Rivera across the face of goal, and the header is skied over the top by Digwa. I'd be very curious to see if Jeremy Shear would have changed his mind on that. But we don't, and the game continues. Getting the lead, and then taking it from there when Pittsburgh, and again, we saw last game, they can certainly play without the lead, that's for sure, but Sparrow nearly has some trouble there with Digwa. Recycled by Armin, looks to float this back into the penalty area. Header is central. Another chance maybe for Kleeman to get his head to it. Dennis tries to get a boot as well. In the end, Pittsburgh do clear their lines. Sean St. Jacques, Marion Crowder, our entire crew here with you. It's been a very interesting and enthralling contest so far. One that Pittsburgh's had the better of for nearly 45 minutes. LaCava through for Williams. It's J.J. Williams, who we haven't talked about much tonight, but he gets his first shot of the game away. Parried away by Jamali Waite. Chance for Armin on a recycle. Sends it right back into the middle. Nobody there in white to really attack it.
You mentioned it. We haven't called his name quite enough, but magical when he gets the ball at his feet.
Luke Biasi gives away a throw on the far side. It was from
Tried to catch him cheating to the back post. Waite, who has been stellar all season, comes up big with that save.
Now Rivera nearly stayed with that and wins a free kick. Six added minutes are just about up at the end of this first half. Jones clears, nearly finds Dikwa, and Kleeman finds Sparrow. And that's how the half ends here at Highmark.
Multiple players attacking the ball. Rowdies need to be sharp and hunt this one.
Dennis, it's a dangerous ball. Antley got ahead to it, but couldn't put it on target.
A nice little outswinger. You see the multitude of white jerseys near that front post, trying to draw most of the Riverhounds that way.
Nice run from Guillen. Gets past two Rowdies, Riverhounds defenders. Antley.
Sync with each other. Shawanmi really playing back to goal well, and Dikwa making the runs off of him.
Blackstock, where Rivera played. Into the middle, Ibarra! And it took multiple deflections on the way through. And Bob Lilly also talked about how Memphis game was big to keep it at 2-0. They got the goal to make it 2-1, and then the game completely changed. Ball pinged over to that far side. Forbes let it run. Blackstock beaten to it by Armin, and then Armin lost his footing. Doherty sends it down the line. Maybe a chance to cross this into the penalty area. It is chipped in towards Mkosana and cleared by Ibarra. Well, the Steel Army here begging for the whistle. Ball is sent into the penalty area, caught again by Jamali Waite. And surely that will be that. And that is the final act.
Sometimes, actually all the time, one goal's all you need. That was the difference. Pittsburgh gets the big win at home over Tampa Bay as Nicky Law continues his maiden voyage as the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Ricardo Silva, the Miami FC, put 4 on the board against a struggling El Paso Locomotive side in front of a crowd of just over 1,100. Rivas with 2 goals on the board. Goal in the 13th, a penalty at 45 plus 4, and you end up with yellow cards and having to play down a man for the second half, and that was what El Paso had to do. It ended up being an own goal at 90 plus 1. Gabriel De Freitas scores at 90 plus 4. Long day for El Paso as the Miami FC gets full points at Ricardo Silva by the final of 4-0. Sacramento Republic at Monterey Bay beats them 1-0 at Cardinal. Orange County over San Diego Loyal at Torero by the final of 3-1. And then our match of the week out west. The rare occurrence, Las Vegas Lights getting full points at Cashman Field against RGV. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at the USL Championship, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Pre-game festivities to conclude as we get ready to get started here at Cashman Field. We are underway. Lights with it first.
This is a big fella. You got Akwe coming in. He's a giant. They may be a threat from set pieces tonight.
Opportunity here now. Carlton with it. Still with Carlton. Top of the box. Fires a shot. And getting to the ground low is Tyler Derrick for the save. But
good. He's running in those little number 10 spaces. But what a pass that was from Stalford, the right back. He's
out for a little bit of room to run. Oteng will play it forward. Carlton now into the box. Carlton fires a shot. Save Derrick. And he gets the rebound.
Without anyone really round them.
Towards Ataka now, cutting towards the box, fires a shot. It's in the back of the net. What a strike there, and the Lights are on the board first.
breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, and not just the world-class finish from Tabor Teka, but everything that came before it. His little back heel, look at this, absolutely perfect. One touch from Tabor Teka with the left foot, he's just bent it round Tyler Derrick, absolutely nothing. Doling's reaction says it all. Look at Doling puts his hands on his head, he can't believe it. What a finish for
Forward, Tabor Teka, first one there, crosses into the box. Carlton on the end of it, punched away by Derrick. And a foul called. I think Carlton may have got a piece of Derrick coming.
Breathtaking again from Tabor Teka. The pace and the delivery is absolutely perfect, and that's Carlton's coming in. It's the defender that hit it in the end, but it's a good save from
Ruiz.
The Lights can't afford to allow this RGV team to have the possession they're having right now. They're looking good when they've got it, and they're starting to get into more advanced positions.
Otang couldn't control the cross. Kept alive for Tabor Teka. Little step over. Still with Tabor Teka. Shoots. Scores! 2 for Tabor Teka. 2 for the Lights.
It's just that's ridiculous. Akwe, would never have imagined what happened next. One man, Akwe beaten, the next one beaten, and then just a tapping into the bottom corner. Tyler Derrick, arms out. What's his defenders doing? But look at the skill. It's just incredible. What a game and what a night for Tabor Teka.
Just all
happened there. They've cleared the ball from a corner, and the defense, usually a positive team, will clear the box. The first thing as a defender does is, right, get out of the 18-yard box. The Lights just stayed deep.
low driven ball into the box. Stays with the Toros, now cleared. Right now, all the pressure being applied by RGV. Ball forward, headed in the middle. Shot fired, off the post! Another effort, high!
Lights just stayed deep, which meant you've got all this area for RGV to pick up the second ball.
Ball played forward, and it is headed away. You got to figure that should do it. Out for a corner, but they're not going to get to take it. First realized he didn't have the strength for just a little grab on the shoulder, so he went with the two-handed tug.
He needed the football tackle in the end,
yeah.
But that's what
the size of Tabor Teka, the one hand on the shoulder wasn't going to get the job done.
But Tabor Teka is just so powerful, and he is powerful running at pace like that as well. But at that time, it was so clever. He saw the man and just put his body between him and the ball, between the defender and the ball, and it was all that could ever happen was going to be a free kick.
And zone centers it for Cabezas. Strike! Save Diaz. Stays with the Toros. Into the box. Knocked away. A little bit of contact. Keep playing. Cabezas. Just wide open shot from distance, but well read.
Well read from Lea Diaz, but for me, that shot from coming in.
Cross from Ritten Dale into the center of the box. Knocked away. Handball, yes. Came up and got the wrist of Jonathan Ricketts.
The shape and the way they've worked has been outstanding tonight. Sometimes you can get away with it. On that occasion, it was an easy one.
Played out into the middle. And here's a shot. It's saved by Diaz as he stoned Francois. Diaz then took a hit afterwards to the face.
Didn't have offside. It was a great ball in. Francois does everything right. First touch was brilliant, but do you know how good goalkeeping that is? Diaz had the opportunity to go down. He stayed big. He didn't go to ground, and that made it difficult for Francois to get it round him.
We'll see how much contact there was. As Francois was one-on-one with Diaz, he made the save and then took the contact. Nice little 1-2 there in the box by the Lights. And there is a shot, and it's in the back of the net. Pimentel takes it. There goes the clean sheet for Diaz. And now maybe a sliver of hope for RGV.
Where he's left, and he's just fixed onto his Danny Rios. You have to go to the ball. You have to put a foot in. Pimentel's just, without any challenge, come back onto his right-hand side on the 18-yard box and put it into the
ball from Derek. Oh, dangerous there. He put that ball right on the feet of Cabrera, but that is it. The Las Vegas Lights, winners here at Cashman for the first time this season.
Vegas Lights win for the second time this year, scoring 2 goals, getting the 2-goal lead, finishing up 2-1 winners over Wilmer Cabrera and RGV. And then San Antonio FC on the road at 38th in Washington, knocking off Phoenix Rising by the score of 2-1. That sets up the standings after the week that was, and here's how things are in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, with that win, give themselves a little bit of distance between themselves and Charleston and Tampa Bay. Charleston is their 4-game unbeaten string snapped with the previous result from the past week. They're at 39 points. Tampa Bay, with the loss, they've hit each column in their last 3. They're at 38. Lou City is now won 2 in a row after their 3-game losing streak. They're at 35 points in 4th. Memphis and 901, 4 points in their last 2 matches. They're at 34. Legion, there's a bit of space here, and this is where the action kicks in. The second group, Birmingham's at 29 points. They've lost 2 in a row. FC Tulsa has also lost 2 in a row. They're at 28. The Miami FC has now won 3 on the spin, unbeaten in 4, and they're the last team above the playoff bar at 26 points in 23 matches. Below the playoff bar right now, Indy 11, who's lost 2 in a row. They're at 25. Detroit City, unbeaten in their last 3. They're at 24. Loudon has not won in their last 5. 3 losses. They only have 2 points. They're at 21 points. Hartford Athletics won 2 of their last 3. They're closing the margin a little bit at 4-14-4, and they're at 16 points, bringing up the rear in the Eastern Conference. Western Conference standings, Sacramento's won 3 in a row. They're at 44 points. San Antonio FC has now won 4 of 5. They're at 40. Roots, unbeaten in their last 5. They're at 37. Orange County's won 4 in a row. They've stormed up the standings. Remember them early in the year struggling. 34 points in 4th. Loyal had a 4-game unbeaten string snapped. They're at 33. Switchbacks are at 32. They also have one more win than El Paso. They also are ahead on goal difference, -1 to -3. Switchbacks 10-11-2, up and down, just the extremes of their season. El Paso right now has lost 4 of 5, 1 point in their last 5 matches. They are at 32 points. Phoenix right now is the last team that would be in the playoffs. They are your 8 at 29 points. New Mexico United's lost 2 in a row. They are now below the playoff bar at 28. Monterey Bay's lost 4 in a row. They're at 27 points. They have one more win than RGV, who is also at 27 points, 7 wins to 6. And the second win of the year for Vegas Lights, 2-12-8. They're at 14 points and at the bottom of the Western standings. So your news in and around USL Championship have to start with what's going on in North Carolina. North Carolina FC rejoining the USL Championship after a 3-year absence, coming up from USL League One, kind of self-promoting themselves. And they will be a part of the action in USL Championship after a 3-year absence in starting with the 2024 season. They had a press conference at Wake Med. Let's hear from the president, North Carolina FC, Francie Gottsagen, and North Carolina FC head coach, John Bradford.
This is a great opportunity both for the club and for our community. As Steve said, we've spent the past couple years coming out of the pandemic really focused on rebuilding the infrastructure from the club. We are at a point where we have a great framework in place to support a championship club in addition to continuing to support the Courage, and we can plan to continue to build on that framework to make sure that we continually improve the experience both for our fans as well as for our players. We live in a soccer hotbed. The Triangle has a long history of soccer, both at the collegiate level, the many youth organizations that are here, including NCFC Youth, which is the largest in the country with over 15,000 participants, as well as the pro clubs here, which have a long history as well. And we have a very soccer-savvy market, I would say, as well. So we're really excited to be able to rejoin USL Championship because we know that this is what our community wants and it's what they're going to embrace.
then, John, if you could speak to the technical side of things, what this means for the team. Obviously, in first place in USL League One, knowing the team on the field is already a very quality product, and kind of what the immediate future looks like for the team on the field moving up to USL Championship.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. I think it's an exciting announcement, and obviously our players, who I shared this with this morning ahead of the announcement going public, we're excited about it. So I think it brings those guys that want to continue their careers at higher levels that opportunity to basically audition for that chance next year to be going up to championship. But we certainly don't want to lose sight of where we are right now, in terms of League One and finishing off this season extremely well. And obviously the guys have done a great job, so we're excited to continue that too.
So North Carolina FC and Cary worked their way back up into USL Championship. They've applied, and they'll be heading from League One into USL Championship next year. USL League One now with a net of +1 for teams next season. They will have 13, where the plan is with expansion franchises it will be up to 26 in USL Championship for the 2024 season. Team of the week for Week 22. Player of the week is Tabor Taka Preston for Vegas Lights. Voted Championship Player of the Week, once again presented by our friends at Konami eFootball with a brace against RGV. 78% of the ballot. Thomas Among from Orange County, San Antonio FC's Jorge Hernandez finished tied for second, 11% apiece. Among scoring twice in the 3-1 win at Loyal. Hernandez had 2 assists in the 2-1 win against Phoenix. So, your team of the week, Joe Rice in net for Hartford Athletics, 6 saves in the 2-1 win over New Mexico United. Backline, Oscar for Lou City, Mark Segbers for the Miami FC, Mitchell Tainer for San Antonio FC, Connor McGlynn from Hartford Athletic. Preston, Hernandez, and Gabriel Cabral for the Miami FC are your midfield 3. Among Joaquin Rivas for the Miami FC, and Cameron Lancaster, who had a goal and an assist in the 3-0 win against Tulsa. 6 shots, 2 chances in the road win. That's your lineup. That's your team of the week presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. Your bench in net, Jamali Waite for Pittsburgh for the clean sheet against Tampa Bay. Amadou Dia in Louisville. Akeem Ward in Memphis. Wante Hada in Colorado Springs. Aaron Malloy in Memphis. Kiko in Sacramento. And Milana Lasky, who is scoring back to his old ways for Orange County as they have stormed up the standings. Also on the board in your match of the week, your game of the week, your goal of the week, your save of the week. You've got all of that to look at here. Power rankings also on board. Power rankings for Week 22, Orange County storming up the standings. They are now number 1, up 3 to number 1. Riverhounds up 3 to number 2. San Antonio up 3 to 3. Sacramento up 3 to 4. Roots up 3 to 5, which meant the Battery down to 6. Tampa Bay down 4 to 7. Loyal down 6 to 8. That means that the Miami FC and Lou City are up 4 spots, each to 9 and 10. Switchbacks, big turnaround for them at 10, 11, and 2. They are up 8 slots to number 11, which means New Mexico United, Legion, FC Tulsa, and RGV are down to 12 through 15. Memphis 901 starting their climb back up from 20 to 16. Detroit City down to 17. Hartford Athletic with the win. They're now up 4 to 18. Phoenix and Vegas down 4 and up 4. Indy 11 down. El Paso down. Monterey Bay down. Loudon is last at 24. And that's your power rankings for the upcoming week. Fans' choice for goal of the week for Week 22. And once again, you can vote on these until Thursday, August the 10th at noon Eastern across all of the USL Championship platforms, including the USL app. Nico Brett for Birmingham against Colorado Springs. Beverly Macangila for Hartford against New Mexico. Gabriel Cabral for Miami against El Paso. And Tabor Taka Preston for Vegas against RGV. So it's Nico Brett, Macangila, Cabral, and Preston. They are having their hands raised. Which one of them gets goal of the week honors for Week 22? Go to all of the USL platforms, USL Championship platforms, to vote on your goal of the week once again through Thursday, August the 10th at noon Eastern Time. What you can also have is you will have the save of the week coming up in short order. You can vote on that until Friday at noon Eastern Time. Keep an eye on USLChampionship.com and all the USL platforms where you can vote for your save of the week in addition to your goal of the week. Championship Player of the Month nominees for the month of July, presented once again by our friends at Konami eFootball. It is Tani Oluwaseyi for San Antonio, 8 goals and 2 assists across the month. Cal Jennings for Tampa, Philip Goodrum for FC Tulsa, Alex Tambakis for New Mexico United, and Jorge Hernandez for San Antonio FC. Those are the votes that are going to be held. The USL Championship for the fan vote is completed. Now it's up to the technical committee and the national media panel to vote on who is the player of the month. Keep an eye on that for short order as well. That is your news of the week. Now let's get you back into the schedule and get you squared away for all of the juice boxes that we know of from the early action in USL Championship coming up in short order. Tomorrow it is once again 4 matchups, Indy 11 and Birmingham. Indy 11's a plus 125, hosting Birmingham at the mic at 7 o'clock. Birmingham a plus 191, your draw's a plus 237. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Lou City hosting Charleston. Big matchup in the East as Lou City tries to continue to climb the standings. Lou City a minus 109, your draw's a plus 250, and Charleston is a plus 264. 9 o'clock Colorado Springs hosting FC Tulsa as a part of the Summer Showcase. The Switchbacks are a minus 130, and FC Tulsa is a plus 300. Draws a plus 273. 10 o'clock Loyal hosting Loudoun at Torero. San Diego's a minus 286. Your draw's north of plus 400. Loudoun's north of plus 600. On Saturday, a lot of action. 3, 6, 9, 10 matches. We'll go through them quick. 7 o'clock at Ricardo Silva. The Miami FC's a minus 106 hosting Indy 11. Indy 11's a plus 261. Pittsburgh at Highmark, minus 312, hosting Hartford Athletic, who's a plus 735. 7:30 Eastern, Birmingham hosting Sacramento. Birmingham and the Republic, juice boxes pretty much have thrown a blanket over both at a plus 153. 7:30 at Keyworth, Detroit City hosting Charleston. Detroit City favored at a plus 148. Charleston's a plus 161. Your draw's a plus 235. 7:30 Tampa Bay hosting Monterey Bay at Al Lang, and the Rowdies are a minus 233. Draws a plus 340. Monterey Bay is a plus 551, having to come from one coast to the other. 8 o'clock, Lou City hosting RGV at a minus 106. RGV is basically a plus 260. The draw is a plus 250. 9 o'clock, New Mexico United at the Lab hosting San Antonio FC. They are favored at a plus 131. San Antonio, your defending champs, at a plus 184. Draws a plus 237. 10 o'clock at Torero, San Diego Loyal hosting Memphis 901 at a plus 110. Double that for 901 on the road. Draws a plus 241. Vegas Lights, can they get 2 in a row? They're favored against Loud United at a plus 129. Loud United's a plus 187. Your draw's a plus 235. 11 o'clock Eastern at 38th and Washington. Phoenix is a plus 110. Double that for El Paso, who is struggling right now. Your draw is a plus 245. So when it comes to everything going on in USL Championship right now, remember, if you are in market and can catch any of the action, please do. It's great competition in the second division for soccer here in the United States. So check it out in market and in venue when you can. If you can't and you're in market, check on your local providers. And if you cannot and you are out of market, follow along on ESPN Plus and local providers as well. The home of the USL Championship all season long, getting you ready for the championship game. Another quick note, Indy 11's acquired Ben Ravino on loan from New England Revolution for the rest of the season. So that is what is going on in USL Championship. Play it safe, everybody. Enjoy the games in the league. We're starting to get a little spacing like we are in USL League One. Had some big news as folks are working their way back into USL Championship starting next season. Busy, busy time. Don't forget, go to USLChampionship.com. Follow along on their social media platforms, on the X, the 280-character app on Facebook, and on Instagram. And be a part of the Fan Zone. Sign up for the newsletter as well when it comes to everything USL Championship. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. Mucha plati, y'all.